Today I'm going to work through finding the area of circles and problems associated with that. Let's start really basic here. If the radius is 7, how do I find the area of a circle? Well, remember, the formula for the area of a circle is A, the area, is equal to pi times the radius, or r, squared. R is the radius of a circle, the distance from the center of the circle to the edge. So the area here would be pi times 7 squared, which is pi times 49. And we usually don't multiply by 3.14 or use the calculator to make an approximation. Instead, we just write it as 49 pi. We kind of like our numbers to come first, right? Like 3x. In the same way, 49 pi is the area. We're not given units, so I'm not worried about squaring my units or anything like that. Okay, now we have to work backwards. If the area is 18 pi, what is C? Well, remember, C is the circumference of a circle, and the circumference of a circle is equal to pi times the diameter. And the diameter of a circle, if you remember, is twice the radius. So pi times 2 times r. Or a lot of times you'll see circumference written as 2 pi r. Okay, so we have the area, 18 pi. And we're trying to find out the circumference, which is 2 pi r. So 18 pi is equal to pi r squared. This is nice because we can just divide both sides. Let's maybe make it a little bit more clear, but we can divide both sides by pi. Divide by pi. And those will cancel out. So r squared is equal to 18. If we take the square root of both sides, r equals 18 is 9 times 2. The square root of 9 is 3. So the radius then is 3 square root 2. But we're not looking for the radius, right? We're looking for the circumference. So the circumference then, 2 pi r, is 2 pi times the radius, which is 3 square root 2. So 2 pi times 3 is 6 pi. And then we're left with this square root of 2. And you could write that 6 square root 2 pi or 6 pi square root 2. I kind of like it just like this. That then is the circumference. So my circumference being 6 pi square root 2. Okay, so a little bit of formula manipulation here, but not anything too crazy. Let's look at a little bit more of a complicated maybe you call it a word problem. A little bit more complicated circle problem. Here we want to find the area of the shaded region, make a plan, and then show work. So the make a plan part is mostly in our head, right? And maybe we'll write down a few notes, but we need to think through, how could I find the area of the shaded region? It might be kind of hard to see on your screen, but the shaded region is all these little areas in between the circles. So how can I find that? Well, the first thing I'm thinking is I've got this square. If I take the area of the square and I subtract these 4 circles, so 4 times the area of a circle, then that's going to be the shaded area. So shaded, we'll just call it shade so I don't have to write too much. The shaded area is the area of the square minus the 4 of those circles. Okay, so the area of a square, hopefully that's pretty intuitive, right? 20 and 20. So that's 20 squared. But what about the area of those circles? Well, let's think about it. If I've got a circle like this, and maybe we can get a different color. So look at this. Right here, this is the radius of my circle. We're kind of pointing out the radii. But I can draw a straight line, which is the side of my, it's like one side of my square, right? I know that a straight line through both of those circles would be 20 inches. Straight line through one of those circles would be 20 inches. So that means that twice the diameter of a circle, twice the diameter of these circles is 20 inches. So let's write that. 20 is twice the diameter. And remember, I guess when we're looking for area of a circle, maybe let's write it like this. This is minus 4 times pi r squared. So I'm looking for the radius, right? Well, if I can find the diameter, I actually know the diameter, 20 equals 2d, so then the diameter is 10. And remember, the radius is just half of that. So diameter is twice the radius. So that means that 10 is 2r, or r is 5. So that means, okay, I found r. I know what r is. It's 5. So this is 20 minus 4 times pi times 5 squared. Okay, sorry, and that's 20 squared. Oops, don't want to forget that. Okay, so 400 minus, okay, that's 25. So this right here is 25. 4 times 25, that's 100. So that's 400 minus 100 pi. 400 minus 100 pi. And maybe we just leave it like that, right? We could leave it as 400 minus 100 pi if we're not trying to approximate, or you could type that into a calculator. 400 minus 100 pi. Let's see if we can do that real quick. So 400 minus 100 pi. So that's about 85 point, we'll call it 85.8. 85, let's redo that. 85.8. The units are inches. We're talking about area, so it's inches squared. Oops, inches squared. Okay, so we made a plan. We said the area of the square, or the shaded area is the area of the square minus 4 of those circles. We said the area of a circle, we already knew the area of the square, it was 20 squared. But in order to find the area of the circle, we needed the radius. So then we used the side of the square to find the diameter, to find the radius, used that radius to find the area of a circle, and subtracted. This took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, so we're going to cut the video here and look for part 2 of examples in, hopefully, my channel or on the page where you found this video.